Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. It's wonderful to be with you tonight. And I believe that you're going to see a show tonight like none you've ever seen on Grandma's Attic. Actually, I can promise you that because we've never had this particular musician type on our show. We've done a lot of different shows and we've touched on a lot of different kind of music, but we haven't done quite this yet. So I want to tell you that because of people like Terry LaChance that send me in the way of other musicians, this musician's name came up with one of our past guests, and they said, oh, you should check out. So what did I do? I went and checked him out. So yeah, this is an interesting show. He doesn't play the guitar. He doesn't play the drums. He doesn't play bass. He doesn't play the accordion. And he doesn't play ukulele. He plays the harp. And it's beautiful, and it's blue, and he's amazing. And he writes his own music. And he's going to play for you. And you're going to be thrilled to hear what he brings to your living room or wherever you're watching from tonight. Please help me welcome into your heart and into your home, Mr. Sean O'Reilly.
Would it be alright if we spent the night on the hood of this muscle car tonight? You're like a big black bow on a red present that you know I can't wait to be opening soon. So let's go. We could drive real fast, yeah, we could take it slow. A train to New York City, oh, just keep it on the down low. I know that I talk real fast. I know you're not quite sure. The sincerity of my confession didn't mention that I never felt this free before. But I've seen nothing old too, but I've never seen nothing like you. And the more I see it's true, you know, I've never seen nothing like you. So tell me what's up, or can you tell me what's going down below the surface of your machinery that I wanna be manning all alone? I left the manual at home and I've seen nothing or two, but I've never seen nothing like you. And the more I see it's true, you know, I ain't never seen nothing like you. I'm living my life like a book on a shelf, unopened, unread, and I can't keep from keeping secrets from myself. My sad little story plays year after year. I can't kick the feeling life has been leading to this very moment. Right here. But I've seen a thing or two, you know. I've never seen nothing like you. And the more I see, it's true, you know. I've never seen nothing like you. So you can look me in the eyes, it's true as these eyes are blue. I've never seen nothing, never seen nothing, never seen nothing, never seen nothing like you. Thank you. So that song was called Nothing Like You. I worked in restaurants for many years. And anybody that's worked in a restaurant, and maybe other workplaces would know, like, the employees they like to cook up stories. You know, they're like rumor mills. So that song was actually sort of based on some rumor about two people that, you know, people thought was really saucy. I didn't believe it, but I thought it would make a good song if it were true. So that is called Nothing Like You. This next song I'm going to play is, I always think of it as like my happy song. It's because I don't have that many, which I'm sure you'll see soon enough. But this is like a sort of a bright sunny day kind of song. It's called Two. A sign looks too familiar, and we might be lost. I still couldn't care less, and I can't stop laughing. You take out your phone to check the address. Well, the sun is shining, a breeze it's blowing. The lights, they're all turning green. And I look in your direction, not a word is spoken, I know you know what I mean. Two birds in a tree, they can sing louder. And you walking with me, I never stood prouder. Yeah, two, it's a number. Oh, summer leaves life's greatest equation complete. It seems we were only just one left turn from finding ourselves on track. But the time we were lost, well, that's the time that I'd never give back. 'Cause when a journey is only measured in the company you're keeping along the way, oh well, I wouldn't trade for gold the company I'm keeping today. Two birds in a tree, well, they can sing louder. And you walking with me, I never stood prouder. Yeah, two, it's a number. Oh, summer leaves life's greatest equation complete. You set me free from the chains I never knew. Handbook confines on my mind the simple truth. It's that with you, the problems rise up. We knock them down, 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 down. Two birds in a tree, they can sing louder. And you walking with me, I never stood prouder. Two birds in a tree, well, they can sing louder. And you walking with me, I never stood prouder. Yeah, two, it's a number whose summer leaves life's greatest equation. Two, it's a number whose summer leaves life's greatest equation. Complete. So the next song I'm gonna play is kind of, I guess, sort of the bad weather song. Generally, not generally. I do live in the woods, and so we lose our power pretty often whenever the wind blows. And it's not really fun for me, except that I tend to end up writing songs, really because there's nothing else to do, and they usually end up being about the weather. So the one thing I can say about this song is I did not have access to internet, so after I wrote it, I couldn't look up the title to see that Bob Dylan had already written a song called Shelter from the Storm, but this is my Shelter from the Storm. When it rains, it pours. Think you had enough, they go and serve you a little more. When this life seems a petty little chore, you can't tell if you're just tired or bored, but you wanna go home. Oh, oh, oh. Just close your eyes, stay with me tonight, 'cause I'm on your side, and I know I can make it all feel alright. I can make it feel warm. I'll be your shelter from the storm, shelter from the storm. When you first set sail, never gave a thought to how the wind might wail. The water's so cold, it leaves you deathly pale. To wave after wave's got you, a tie in your tail. Yeah, you wanna go home. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. stay with me tonight. I'm on your side tonight. No, I can make it all feel alright. I can make you feel warm. I'll be your shelter from the storm. Shelter from the storm. It's time to go home. Home. Just close your eyes, and stay with me tonight, tonight. I'm on your side, and I know I can make it all feel alright. I can make it feel slow. I'll be your shelter from the storm. Shelter from the storm. Shelter from the storm. Shelter from the storm.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Too good. All right, so this next song here I'm gonna play. It's hard to really explain because I'm not sure what it is that happened. I just know I was having these dreams. You know, they're like traveling dreams where you're looking for something or someone. And then, of course, you know, I have a thing for all these old mythologies, so I started referencing the River Styx and all these things when I was trying to just translate what I was seeing, I guess. When I write songs, a lot of times I don't really feel so much like I'm writing them as that I'm just finding them and that they're already there, like a Pokemon or something, I don't know. This one's called The Way Home. Wandering in the forest where the river meets the Styx, something has gone missing, now I'm off to find a fix. The willows are limp and lifeless, the poplars stiff and stark, the dendroglyphs on tree bark illuminate the dark. Meet me by the water, lead me like we planned, just beyond the border. I'll try to be a man, 'cause you look like you might know the way home. And if you leave, I'll follow. I hit a chord under my tongue, I'll pay the price to go. I'm waiting to go. Well, I come seeking passage with no desire to return, a torch to light the path ahead, behind my bridges burn. So lay your hands upon me, teach me not to fear. The last page of this story, make all this vagueness clear. 'Cause you look like you might know the way home. And if you leave, I'll follow. I hit a chord under my tongue, I'll pay the price to know. I'm waiting to go. I'm waiting to go. Meet me by the water, meet me like we planned. Just beyond the border, I'll try to be a man. 'Cause you look like you might know the way home. And if you leave, I'll follow. And I hit a coin under my tongue. I'll pay the price to know I'm waiting to go. I'm waiting to go. I'm waiting to go. Leaning close, I'll tell you my secret. And once it's told, no pain, no regret. Thank you. All right, so you'll just indulge me, which I guess you have to since no one here's looking to stop me. I'm gonna keep going down the weird path. This was another kind of a darker song from a similar, I don't know, dreamscape situation. This is called Every Time You Close Your Eyes. I know where the fear resides. I'll show you where the monster hides. All you have to do is look inside. I'll be here. Every time you close your eyes. I'm the thoughts you'll never say. I'm the wash of grey on your sunny day. I'll show you how to make it go away. I'll be here. I'll be here. Every time you close your eyes. So close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Every time you close your eyes. Come with me on a journey through time and space. We'll find those things you lost, you can't replace, you know. The water is strong to drown your pain. And if you just stop swimming, you would not mind your chains. Well, tell me, does the darkness frighten you? No worries, we are here to guide you. Every time you close your eyes. So close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. It's it's time to close your eyes. Thank you.
So you want to play one more song and then come see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Whoops. Whoops.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was me. This will be my. This is how do I want to explain it? It's like a heart song, you know. This is I play this one a lot. It reminds me of different people in my life that move on to whatever they're doing or they have to do. It's called The Good. It's hard to say goodbye, though it's not the end of our lives. Just some moments to sweat out between now and somewhere down the line. If you've got the legs to run, I've got the will to stay behind. Crack a joke and keep hope. We'll be ready come next time. So I'll let you go to the great unknown. And if you love me, then you might come back. And that day I might know, where does the good go? Where does the good go? I feel it slipping from these fingers. I wish I had a hold. Where does the good go? Castle beeps and wires keep your heart beating on time. Measure out the moments as we watch your life unwind. The sights you'll never see and the words you'll never hear. The shows that all life fears. Well, I gotta let you go to the great unknown. If you can still reach me when you get there, well, come on and let me know. Where does the good go? Where does the good go? When I feel it slipping from these fingers, I wish I had a hold. Where does the good go? Where does the good go? Do I gotta spend 100 years on this damn rock searching so one day I might know? Where does the good go? Well, philosophy is failing me. I'm just some dumb boy all lost at sea or shipwreck. I know it's unlikely I'll decipher God's morality or the devil's sixth sense of irony. So I'm gonna let this go to the great unknown and accept it's all just a bit bigger than me. And maybe I'm not quite ready to see where the good goes. Where does the good go? 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 When I feel it slipping from these fingers, I was shut at home. Where does the good go? Where does the good go? Do I gotta spend 100 years on this damn rock searching so one day I might know? Where does the good go? Where does the good go? Yeah, where does the good go?
So while Sean's coming over here and miking up, let me remind you that it's summertime. That means that when it's 80 degrees out, the tar is 120. That means if you walk your dogs on the cement or on the tar, you're going to burn their feet. We need to be careful of these things. Also, our children shouldn't be running around on 120-degree tar. So, if you're going to send your kids out to play or your dogs out to walk on the street, cover their feet. Do something right and make sure that your children and your pets aren't burning their paws. Okay? All right, let's talk to Sean. Hi.
Hi, Dot.
Welcome. Do you have your mic? Oh,
I think so.
You're so good.
A bit of an AT guy.
I see that. Wow. So, wow. We don't have harp players on our show every day. It's a new thing.
Yeah, I find that they're a little bit of a rare bird.
What made you decide? Wait. I can't start there. How long have you been playing music? Let's start at the
music,
basics.
since I was a little kid.
What did you play first?
Piano.
Of course.
Yeah, I still am. I play piano all the time. I mean, my family's very musical. I'm one of 6 kids, and basically all the kids could carry a tune. My mother is a beautiful singer. Not trained music, just and my father loved music. He actually he was in a folk band.
Nice.
Yeah, he did a folk band. They were singing seminarians. So we always had music in the house, and we had a beautiful piano. So my first memory was actually my oldest sister was taking piano lessons and not faring well. Our piano teacher said she never practiced, but she would play, and then she would leave, and then when they were all gone, I would go up and mess around with the piano and just play, the white keys, and I liked how they sounded.
Just play the white keys.
The white keys, they sound good. If you're starting the piano, just play the white keys.
I used to try to hit the black keys and see what they would. Yeah,
Too jazzy.
I liked discord.
Okay. Well, yeah, sure.
I did. So that was a good thing. So my theory is that all homes, a standard piece of furniture in a home should be a piano.
I mean, I couldn't agree more.
Right? Right. So you went from the piano to the harp?
No. It was a long and winding road. So basically I went through the public school system where, you have to either sing or be in the band, and I did not want to sing for people. So I
sing beautifully, though.
Yeah, thank you. It was always a very private. I mean, I was a very shy kid.
Okay, I can actually see that.
And I mean, I still am probably like on the shyer side.
A little introverted.
Yeah, you just learn how to deal with it, in this world. Yeah, so I learned how to play the trumpet, which was actually really invaluable. That's where I learned how to start reading sheet music.
Okay.
I did that for a few years, and then when we, as we're getting a little older, and music was getting cool to some kids. My brother was playing guitar, and he was playing Dave Matthews. So I was trying to play guitar, and I wasn't great. I wasn't successful at it. So that's when I wanted to play, in the band with him. So
right.
I started playing piano. And again, actually, my mother was sort of the closest thing I had to a music teacher, because she could improvise on the piano. She could just, look at chords and play stuff and sing, and I always thought it was magical. So I was like, how are you doing that? Right. So she just showed me one day, and that was really the only lesson I got. And from then, I was just sitting at the piano every day. Self-taught. Yeah. I mean, I had some background, from public school, so that I'm really fortunate for having,
right.
Because when I wanted to go to sheet music, I had enough foundation where I could just work on it. So the harp was a long way after. The harp I've only been playing since I think around the summer of 2019, right before the pandemic. But so I was so invested in pianos, and I still am, that I would fix them up. I like to get, not like really, not a lot, not wrecks, but stuff that I could just spruce up a little bit and then, maybe sell. And so I got used to looking on these auction sites. And I kept seeing, once or twice I saw these, golden harps that were like 100 years old. And I did have a friend who played the harp, so it always interested me. And I was speaking with her, I kind of knew that it was similar to the piano, more so than the guitar, which I always struggled with. So I thought, well, if I can fix this harp, maybe I can learn how to play it.
Right.
And that's really what happened. So within a few months of fixing up that harp and playing it, I decided I want to really take this seriously. And so I knew I wanted to play in bands. I knew what I wanted. I knew all the problems with acoustic instruments from pianos. So that's why I got a very particular harp, secondhand. It's an electroacoustic, so it has pickups on every single string. So you don't have
Wow.
feedback problems. Like, yeah, I can play with a band, and they can, turn their guitars on and pound their drums, and I can compete with them. So
that's a good thing.
Yes. And then I can also do crazy effects, and it's a lot of fun. So I've really been enjoying it, and also just that, like I said, I still love pianos. I feel like my pianos are at home being jealous, but the thing is, they don't move with me. I could take a keyboard, but I don't love keyboards.
Keyboards are not the same. Even if you have an 88-key weighted keyboard,
Yes.
it doesn't feel
Yeah.
the same as sitting down. Even my small upright is different than a weighted keyboard.
Yeah, they're like living things.
they
The way the
really-
wood moves and stuff.
Especially after they've been around for a couple of centuries or something like that. Because pianos can be old.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So you decided only back into, so that gave you all of 2020 and all of 2021 to really get used to your instrument.
Yeah, I mean that was sort of, I guess, the only way in which the timing of everything worked out for me was I just had, not a lot to do all of a sudden. I was, I guess part of the gig economy, working in restaurants, bouncing around, and then suddenly nothing. So I was playing the harp all day, every day. I started live streaming with it and the piano. So if you go back to the early live streams, not only are they poorly produced, like, like cameras turning off, I was struggling with that instrument. And so you can actually see me progress. But then when things started to open up, I started playing out in the streets, which I'd never done before. And I chose to take the harp for a few reasons. One, just because I feel less alone when I have a real instrument, even if it's not the easiest for me to play.
Right.
And I just thought, well, people walking down the street, it'd be more interesting for them to see this when they turn the corner than a keyboard.
Absolutely.
And I got so many people, who'd never seen one before in person, and so I felt like it was the right choice. And since then, I've really enjoyed taking it out. I think I'm doing it again in August. Yeah, it's something that I want to keep doing, for sure.
Well, you're really good at it. Now let's talk about some of your songwriting.
Sure.
When did you start writing songs? You must have started writing songs on the piano.
Yes. And I still predominantly will write on the piano. Now I'm at a point where, if I'm sitting and really the music that ends up being songs are just pieces of music that kind of happen while I'm messing around. I rarely will be able to sit down and be like, I want to compose a song that sounds like this, and that will work out.
Right.
So often it'll be on the piano, but sometimes I'll get something on the harp and I can just pass them between the two instruments.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, the piano is such a good composition instrument. I mean, it's just music theory. It's like a map of it.
Right.
And you have everything you need. So if
I mean, when we think about the people before us that composed even on the harpsichord and on the piano, Beethoven and Bach and Handel and Tchaikovsky, they all started with piano.
Yeah.
Even Mozart, although he preferred organ, he composed on pianos. So it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And then there's all these people that are composing songs on guitars. So then you take a piano that has 88, and then you take a harp. How many strings are on your harp?
So this harp is a concert harp, which means it has 47 strings. Now the thing about the harp, though, is each string represents 3 notes.
Okay.
So at least on pedal harps, the concert harp. So there's a row of pedals. I have one pedal for each note, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and each pedal has 3 positions.
Okay.
They're like little slots. So if I have it up, then it's in the flat position. If I have it in the middle position, it's natural. And if I have it all the way down, it's sharp. And what's happening is there's little discs at the top of the harp, and they turn.
Okay.
And they shorten the string, just like if you put your finger on the fret of a guitar.
Okay.
And so that's how it's creating those sounds. So, it has 47 strings, but if you're looking at the piano, it goes down to the lowest C on the piano and the highest G.
Right.
So it's almost the same amount of notes.
Registers.
Yeah.
Yep. It's an amazing instrument.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, people say it's huge, but when you think about it, it's kind of compact for what it can do.
It's very compact. Excuse me. Late night last night. So it's very compact compared to a piano, but it has as much register and as much depth
Yeah.
as a piano, but it's played so differently. You know, the way that I don't even know what you call strumming or whatever, fingering or whatever you're doing on the strings is a whole different method than the way you play guitar or the way you play piano. They're so far apart.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. And how did you learn to do that? Do you have, you said you had a female friend that played.
Yeah.
I know a woman that teaches harp. Her name is, it used to be DiCaprio, Christina DiCaprio, but she got married, so I don't know her new last name. But she used to teach harp, and she was the only person around that taught it. So you have a friend that teaches harp. Did she teach you the techniques?
No.
What happened?
No, I learned through the internet, to be honest.
Wow.
There's so much information on the internet, and the technique, I would say it's specific, except for there's actually a few different quote unquote techniques that apparently on the internet everybody kind of fights over. There's sort of an American way and a European way, and it really
Which do you prefer?
Well, I kind of just do what's comfortable and then see where I land up. I believe that probably if a teacher watched me play, they'd say it's anathema, but also that
Okay.
it might be more aligned to the French. I think in the most basic term, it's almost how on your fingers you're playing. So the American, what I guess would be viewed as the American method, was a guy named Salzedo came up with it, and you're playing with the front of your fingertips.
Okay.
So your hands are almost perpendicular to the strings, your fingers. Whereas the Europeans, you kind of more like this, and you'll basically know how you're playing by where your calluses are. So mine tend to be right on the corner sides.
Okay.
If I was playing American, they'd be more right on the front.
Okay. So that's so cool, and it's such a neat way to hear. Now, most people don't write. What do you call your brand of music? It's not rock and roll. It's not. Maybe it is folk. It isn't. Well, it isn't jazz, and it isn't punk. So, what is your genre of music? What do you think that people can put your genre of music?
Well, it's interesting. You don't really think about it. You just kind of make it. I guess sort of because I have such an interest in instruments that might normally be seen in an orchestral setting, even if they're more versatile than that. I think I've heard of they call it like Baroque folk, Baroque pop.
Baroque folk.
So, yeah, some of those
like
kind
that.
of chamber pop, sort of that.
Chamber pop.
Yeah, but I mean, really, I am very much influenced by, my father loved folk music and rock music. I mean, I grew up listening to, The Who, Fleetwood Mac, Cat Stevens. My mother, she loved all those R&B divas. So there was lots of, and then as I grew up, I loved like Jeff Buckley, Radiohead, so lots of more experimental rock. So I mean, I love all those things. I think that it's just that my choice of sonics, even if I might be using similar tools, ends up sounding very different.
Right. And it does sound different because it is different. And I'm pretty sure that's what attracts people to you. You've got a pretty huge following, it seems, when I look at your videos and I look at the things that are going on for you on the internet. It looks like you've got a following, which is a good thing. Where do you want to take this?
Well, I mean, really, I just love playing live. I do. So I'm really grateful for all the people that follow my music on the internet, and I find that it's just a great way to reach out to people who would never hear you. I mean, I have had people. So I do live streaming. During the pandemic, it was every night, and then slowly. So I'm down to 3 nights usually: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I have people in South Africa, in Japan, Brazil, like from all over the world, which I know these people, they'd never hear my music any other way.
The internet has been wonderful for that.
Yeah, so I'm so thankful for that. And live streaming is sort of my best attempt at bringing a live experience to the internet, even though it's really not the same. There's nothing like playing in
Live.
a show in a club, even in
Right.
the streets, for people. And I think even as well as somebody can produce a live stream, it's not the same feeling. So I mean, my near future is I really just want to be playing out more. I'm hoping to start doing little mini tours through sort of New England, and then maybe do even more than that. I mean, for whatever reason, now that I have a 6.5-foot instrument to stick in my car, I feel much more mobile than when I was just dragging a keyboard around. And so I just want to travel with it.
Nice. It's a big instrument to travel with, by the way.
But it's like a companion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that. I think that we get used to the things that we travel with, and we become, even if they're mechanical, so to speak, if they're made of any kind of wood at all, if there's any wood in them, we become attached to them. I don't care.
Yeah.
If it's plastic or metal, maybe not so much. But if there's some wood there,
For sure. I think
it becomes
also,
part of us.
if they're handmade, I feel like you can feel something of the
There's a
person that
karma.
made it.
There's a karma that goes
people
there.
put stuff in the things they make.
I agree with you. So this is a beautiful instrument. You had said earlier, before we were on the air, that you had looked at a gray one.
Yes.
You want to tell the story? Because I think that blue is your signature
Yeah,
color.
I'm really running with it now.
Yeah.
I love your dress, by the way.
Thank you. It was on purpose.
I had a feeling. I did. Well, yeah, basically, everything I buy is secondhand. I think if you can buy things new, it's a great privilege, and it can definitely be worth it. But for me, as somebody who is okay with tinkering and fixing stuff, I'm okay with secondhand. So when I knew I wanted to buy a full-sized harp, and I knew exactly what I needed, and I looked online for used ones because So there was this one. This is the French harp, and then there was another one that was an Italian harp. And I have no preference in country of origin. I think that's all great. But basically, the Italian one was like a silvery gray color, which I just thought, well, that would be a little bit, more modest or something. And so I was trying to get that one a little bit more than this one, and the people just wouldn't budge. And so the people who were selling me this, they basically offered to me at something I could afford. So it was in Georgia. The shipping arrangements were a little crazy. The people were super nice to work with, and it's been sort of a blessed experience having this harp because the people who make it is Camac. They're a French company. When I just messaged them online, I said, I got this harp secondhand. I'd like to replace some of the pickups because they're very easy to replace on this harp. I said, I'll buy them. They said, they just sent me a package. It must have been, like a $200 package of all these tools, pickups, everything I could need. And whenever anything goes wrong, they're just the nicest people to deal with. So, I mean, I'm so fortunate that I ended up with this harp, even if it wasn't necessarily my first choice.
I think that it would be a good thing for you to tell the name of that company.
Yeah.
That's kind of, they've sponsored you sort of by
a little bit.
giving you those things. So tell the people what that company is. And then I want you to tell us where we can find you.
Sure. So this company is Camac. It's C-A-M-A-C, Camac Harps. If you follow me on social media, especially Instagram, where I have to tag stuff, I tag them all the time. But yeah, they make huge harps like this. They also make smaller folk harps. They're located in France. They're actually really a nice company because they follow all the environmental protocols of the country, which are a little bit stricter than here. So they use more renewable sources. And they've made many innovations to these harps. Not to go through, but basically this is a less high maintenance harp than a standard one for many reasons, which again makes it really nice for me to have it. But yeah, if you follow me on any of my social media, which you can basically find by looking up Sean O'Reilly Band, one word, no apostrophe, or the only exception if you look for Sean O'Reilly on Spotify, that's one place where you can find my music. But Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, if it's digital, I'm there somewhere. So you'll find more information about that harp, as well as lots of my original music. I tend to do lots of covers just because I like to be active on the internet, and I tend not to play the same song all the time. And that combined with the fact that, I was a piano player, so everybody kind of goes through this cocktail piano phase where you got to play the requests for people, which I really like. So yeah, I do a lot of live streams where I will take live requests from the audience.
Nice.
If I know, if I don't know it, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And if it's a crazy classical piece, it's just not my background. So I probably won't be playing Chopin nocturnes. But if you say like,
I like Chopin nocturnes.
I love Chopin. I love all the classical music. I listen to classical music. I don't have at the moment, I don't have the passion I feel like that you need to commit to learning.
Oh no, absolutely not. I do a classical show on the radio.
Okay.
That's my radio show, is a classical show on Monday mornings, because I believe that the way to wake up on a Monday morning and start the week is with classical music. It gets you up and going smoothly, although there's some pretty radical classical music out there. There's the 1812 Overture kicks ass. I mean, it's loud, it's boisterous, and it goes.
I gotta check that one out.
Oh my gosh. It's incredible. And it's got cannons in it.
Of course.
In tune.
Oh, cool.
They go off on time, in tune. It's crazy. But anyway, I believe that classical music is a great way to start the day. You said you do live streams 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
How exactly, you want to give people exact,
Yes.
How exactly can people find you? What time? What station? I mean, tell people how they can get to your live stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yes, so basically what you need to do is you need to show up on my Facebook page, my YouTube page, or my Instagram page, or Twitch. I've just started doing Twitch and Reddit. But 8 p.m. on the Eastern time zone is when it starts. I'm always a couple minutes late. But yeah, that's when the live stream starts. So if you're on my YouTube page, it should show up, or if you subscribe, hopefully it just notifies you. And then, if you do miss it, they're all saved. So if you look at, the YouTube is usually probably the easiest place to look for me. Like it's the most organized, all the videos. But yeah, it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, it's all there. The Instagram look is different because I can't get multiple cameras. I like to use multiple cameras, especially when I have, on Mondays, I usually have a friend who plays the drums, and my brother will play the guitar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so Mondays have been more of a band night.
So you play out with your harp with a band.
Yeah.
So we need to hear about that too.
Yeah, well,
get me excited.
I don't know when the next band show is going to be, because basically, I'm not a band per se, but I just know some really good musicians, and they live very busy lives, so I will try and get a hold of them for certain shows. It's possible I'm playing a show August 20th that I might have a band. It's at Arts Angelorias. It'll be posted on my website. That one I might be able to have a band. But Monday nights at 8 p.m., I usually have at least one other musician. Lately it's been 2.
Okay, what about Wednesday nights?
Wednesday and Friday, it's just me. So it tends to be a little bit more of a low-key show. I guess sort of the positive is it's easier to do requests, because it's just me, and I can sort of improvise through a little bit more. We still do requests sometimes on Monday nights, but...
Do you prefer requests, or do you prefer doing your own originals? Because today you did all originals.
Yes. My favorite is when people request originals. But I do like playing requests. It keeps me on my toes, and I just think it makes the experience of live streaming 3 nights a week more interesting for me if I don't necessarily know what's coming.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So if you could choose any cover that was the last song that you were allowed to ever play, what would it be?
Oh, dear.
See, did you think the questions would be easy in the attic? Come on now. This is Grandma's Attic. We don't ask easy questions.
No, it's not. I love so many songs. I will say off the top of my head, because I just recently did it, is a song called Grace by Jeff Buckley, because it's about sort of crossing over, so I think it would make sense. Nice. So this happens every time we do a show. We run out of time because I love to talk, and I could talk to you for another 2 hours easily. I'd be happy to sit here.
And I think that maybe you should come do the radio show, the classical radio show, but we'll talk about your music.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that after the show. But before we get to that, would you take us out with a song?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Right. Well, Sean's getting ready to get back to his harp. Wasn't this cool? How beautiful was this? This was so awesome. And I'm going to line it up so that he can come on my radio show too. How cool will that be? I'm excited. So, it is summertime. There's great shows going on every Thursday night at the Hygienic, all the way up till the end of August. Every Thursday night from 6 to 9:30 p.m. There's a free show, free show at the Hygienic. Get out, support live music, support what's going on. I know there's some shows coming up at the Oasis, and there are shows at Philomena's outside every Friday and Saturday, or every Thursday and Friday. Maybe Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Philomena's, Steak Loft, Hygienic, the Oasis. Get out and support live music. And there's some shows coming up at the Guard Arts Center, big shows. A night out with Queen, Old Crow Medicine Show. And Sean's going to take us out with a song because I'm getting from the producers. So, see you next week. Bye.
This song is called Your Heart Inside My Heart. Here's a secret no one knows. Inside my heart, your heart still grows. A seed I buried long ago. And though the tides took you inside my heart, your heart makes waves. To these rhythms I swing. And the deepest secret no one knows. The tallest tree that's ever grown, the strongest